What up, people? Coach V, New Breed Boxing, weightlifting and boxing. Pros and cons. Should you do it? Should you not do it? Question I've been getting a lot. Um, there's some pros and there's some cons to it. But overall, I kind of am of the old school train of thought that you should not be lifting heavy weights. I think, excessive heavy weightlifting, well, I know for a fact that it dulls your fast twitch reflexes. It will limit your range of motion, okay? Like these guys that you see over here in the gym doing 8,000 of these and they got a tricep this big, half of them hit like a little girl. I've been doing mitt work for 20 years and you can't bullshit me. I know everything about reading body types, engaging power, and there's not much of a correlation between how much weight you can put up and how hard you can hit. Because I got guys that can bench press a house, again, that have basically little to no power, or knockout power. And I got guys that, are skinny as a rail that will put you on your ass in one shot. You know what I'm saying? So size, the only thing I will say is another thing I will say is when you lift too much weights, it could also take you out of your natural healthy weight category, right? Because like another thing you'll see a lot of is a guy that's a natural 160, 170 pound guy that puts on 50 pounds of muscle. He doesn't hit like a heavyweight all of a sudden. It doesn't work like that. Punching power is, again, I always say you're born with it. You can definitely improve it a little, but you're not gonna go from middleweight to heavyweight and be punching like the biggest heavyweight. You're gonna punch basically maybe a little stronger, maybe you might even be a little slower. Well, you're definitely going to be slower, but maybe you might even punch a little lighter, to be honest with you. So that's just something to consider, because I've had so many people come to me and say, yo, I should get bigger, right? And I'm like, no, man. I always tell people, in boxing, you want to think of yourself like a race car. Think of like Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? Think of guys that have, very little body fat, that are very fast, great endurance, and can sustain long periods of activity with intervals of just explosive boxing punching, and then low upper body boxing punching, and then lower body stamina, moving around. So, and being able to be as strong as possible at your lightest weight possible also cuts down on the lactic acid buildup. That's another thing. You don't need as much oxygen in your blood to move your muscles when you're a little smaller. So that's another thing. I always feel like it's a much bigger advantage to be as small of a package as you could be with the most power you can produce. I'd say it's better to be stronger than you look than the reverse. You know what I mean? Because appearance and intimidation, which I just went over recently, some guys want to get big for that purpose, and to me that's nonsense. Because anybody who's really got experience, 90% of the time, I'm not trying to disrespect bodybuilders or nothing like that, and they'll be the first to tell you, they are power lifters and bodybuilders. They, like I said, they lose their fast twitch reflexes over time, or it just deteriorates because they're in a completely different, sport. Just the same way a heavyweight boxer usually doesn't have the power to put up the same amount of weight as a professional power lifter, because they've trained their body differently and your body adapts over time. So when you're a big power lifter, you don't have the need to be moving around fast and be real loose and stuff like that. You really want to be more, kind of like compact and just master those kind of movements that you do when you're pushing those big weights. And your body over time will adapt to that. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the total opposite of what you need for boxing. So every day, as far as training, I think it's okay to do little light hand weights. Hand weights are good, light hand weights. I think it's okay every once in a while to do some kind of weights, like functional weightlifting. I like major muscle groups, so you can do a little bit of like squats and some basic bench press and stuff. But I would really save that towards the end of your week when you got a couple of days to recover. You definitely don't want to be like hitting the gym hard in the morning, lifting a bunch of weights, and then go boxing later, because you're going to be stiff as hell, you're going to have no reflexes, and your muscles are going to fatigue very, very quickly. So again, light weights, shadow boxing, moving around. You can even use like ankle weights or the vest here and there. Sometimes doing certain shadow boxing activities on days you're not sparring, but not too much, not excessively. As far as, if you are gonna do any major weightlifting, as far as like maybe I can make that like 1 day a week, to be honest with you. Or if you're gonna break it up into 2 days, like push pull, but like the 2 days at the end of your week, so you have all of Sunday, I'll say maybe Friday and Saturday, and then you have all of Sunday to kind of recuperate and get back to being loose again. And if you are gonna do that, I recommend doing a lot of extra stretching so you don't lose that elasticity and that range of motion. And that's pretty much it as far as I'm concerned. So I hope you found this informative. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, share, go hit that notification bell so we know you're out there. And tell me what you think too. Remember, this is my personal approach to it. There's a lot of guys out there that think differently, but this is just one of the many opinions on the subject. And I think mine is it's been working well for me. So, but anyway, if you got something different to say or you got something in common, I'd like to hear it in the comment section. We out here. Out.